Madame Celeste Amarilla, you are a despicable woman and unworthy of your position. Wow, let's just jump right into this, shall we? That explosive quote from Kylian Mbappé immediately set the stage for how a 2026 World Cup match completely erupted into an international geopolitical controversy. Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to impartially unpack the massive diplomatic firestorm that followed the round of 16 match between France and Paraguay over in Philadelphia. We aren't just looking at sports highlights here. We're analyzing a fascinating, high-stakes collision of social media, diplomatic relations, and international law. By the end of our time together, you'll understand exactly how a post-match tweet escalated all the way to the desks of public prosecutors and world leaders. Section 1. The catalyst on the pitch. Now, you've got to understand, the atmosphere was already electric and, frankly, a bit toxic before the first whistle even blew. Former Paraguayan goalkeeper José Luis Chilavert had really stoked the flames by referring to France as a squad from Africa. That pre-match tension bled right into a very physical game, where a single penalty goal converted by Mbappé in the second half was literally the only difference on the scoreboard. That 1-0 victory secured France's ticket to the quarterfinals to face Morocco, while Paraguay was sent packing. But while the physical game ended at the final whistle, the real clash was just about to kick off online. Section 2. The Senator's Racist Tirade. Here's where things go completely off the rails. The inciting incident for this entire controversy didn't come from some anonymous troll account. It came from Celeste Amarilla. She's a Paraguayan lawyer and, crucially, an active politician serving as a senator representing the authentic radical liberal party. The fact that a sitting member of Paraguay's Congress made these public comments on a global platform is what rapidly transformed an ugly online spat into a serious diplomatic incident. So what exactly did she say? Well, following the match, Senator Amarilla posted a massive tirade on X. She explicitly described the French captain as a colonized Cameroonian who pretends to be French. She went even further, typing out, and I quote, "Instead of breast milk, he sucked on coconuts, and the most educated beings he has ever heard were chimpanzees." She also called him a brute who hadn't learned to write. Just highly personal, incredibly brazen attacks, mocking his origins, his upbringing, his education, and his appearance. Well, the joint Golden Boot leader absolutely refused to stay silent. He firmly condemned her remarks in a very public statement, declaring, "I will never allow people like her the freedom to spread their hatred and racism across the world." He completely bypassed the usual PR playbook of ignoring the noise and instead met the senator's comments head-on to defend both himself and his squad. Section 3. Mbappé's fiery rebuttal. Mbappé's defense is honestly a fascinating case study in crisis communication. He deliberately contrasted the historic effort and sportsmanship of the Paraguayan players on the pitch with what he described as the recklessness of Senator Amarilla off the pitch. Look at how he split the target here. On one hand, he praised the Paraguayan national team, saying they sweated passion and honor throughout the competition. But on the other, he stated that Amarilla was an incompetent woman who gives the worst possible image of her country. Do you see what he did there? He expertly, surgically isolated her behavior from the country she represents, making sure his frustration was pointed directly at her and not the Paraguayan people. Section 4. Escalation and official condemnation. The situation rapidly escalated from a personal exchange into a macro-level legal crisis over just a matter of hours. Starting with the post-match tensions on Saturday, it flowed directly into Senator Amarilla's post and then Mbappé's swift pushback. And then comes the critical fourth step. The French Football Federation, or FFF, stepped in, announcing they were reporting the matter straight to the public prosecutor's office to initiate formal criminal proceedings. And the FFF did not mince words. Their statement read, "These remarks are criminal and reprehensible. They must be prosecuted here as elsewhere." Basically, the Federation drew a massive line in the sand. They made the case that insulting the players of the French national team is a direct insult to the country of France itself, declaring their absolute support for their captain and their intent to fight this on a legal front. Section 5. The legal and global fallout. With legal threats literally flying across the Atlantic, international leaders were forced to step in and officially respond to this controversy unfolding on the world stage, and the reactions were like night and day. The Paraguayan government quickly scrambled to manage the fallout. They formally distanced themselves from Senator Amarilla, issuing a statement condemning the remarks and explicitly stating that her words contradict their values of peaceful coexistence and absolutely do not represent the country. Meanwhile, the French government went all in, voicing full,
unwavering support for their national captain.
A massive wave of high-profile officials backed Mbappé, creating a truly united front. French sports minister Marina Ferrari said Amarilla attacked everything France stands for. Top FFF officials and France assistant coach Guy Steffen called the remarks indignant, abject, scandalous. But perhaps the most notable statement came from French President Emmanuel Macron himself, who weighed in by saying, "One more goal for Kylian Mbappé, this time against racism." You'd think the story ends there, right? No way. In a totally surprising turn of events, Senator Amarilla issued a follow-up that completely complicated the narrative. First, she released an open letter in both French and Spanish. Second, she claimed she had deleted the original post and kind of expressed a degree of regret, saying she was just mistreating him with the same insults she receives as a mixed-race person. But then, and this is a massive pivot, she demanded an apology from Mbappé. She accused him of gender-based violence for calling her a despicable woman. And to top the whole shebang off, she threatened to launch her own legal action against him if he didn't retract his comments. Talk about a massive unresolved conflict. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a really tricky thought. Should political immunity protect government officials from international legal accountability when they blast racist remarks onto a global platform? Think about it. We literally have an athlete suing a foreign senator, and the senator threatening to sue an athlete back. How international law is going to handle a case where sports, diplomacy, and toxic politics collide so vividly is a fascinating issue and one that is absolutely going to set precedents for the future. Thank you so much for joining me today, and as always, keep questioning the deeper stories behind the headlines.